Rolex doesn't sell watches, at least not the way you think. They make over 1 million watches a year. They're not a small brand. They're not struggling with production. So here's the strange part. Why can't you buy one? Not because they don't exist, not because you're too late, but because Rolex decided who gets access and who doesn't. In the next few minutes, I'll show you why the Rolex waiting list isn't about patience, it's about control. Number 1. The waiting list that doesn't actually exist. Let me tell you something that'll blow your mind. There is no centralized Rolex waiting list. None. Zero. Zilch. Walk into 5 different Rolex authorized dealers and ask about the same Submariner. One will tell you 6 months, another says 2 to 3 years, and the third will mysteriously have one for special clients only. How does that make sense if there's a real queue? Here's what's actually happening. Each authorized dealer gets allocated a certain number of watches per year, let's say 50 Submariners. But Rolex produces approximately 1 million watches annually. The math doesn't add up to genuine scarcity. The waiting list is really a relationship management tool. Dealers use it to prioritize high-spending customers who buy multiple pieces, build relationships with clients who purchase jewelry and other brands, create urgency through manufactured unavailability. One former Rolex dealer admitted, "We had watches in the safe, but we couldn't just sell them to anyone who walked in. Corporate would audit our client relationships." You know what's crazy? While you're waiting years for a steel Daytona, grey market dealers have them in stock right now at triple the retail price. If there was real scarcity, how are these dealers consistently stocked? But wait, because the real genius isn't the fake waiting list itself. Number 2, the psychological masterpiece behind the madness. This is where Rolex reveals their marketing PhD. By making their watches unavailable, they've hacked 3 powerful psychological triggers simultaneously. The scarcity principle: when something is hard to get, our brains assign it higher value. Rolex isn't selling watches, they're selling the achievement of getting off a waiting list. You're not buying a timepiece, you're buying victory. Social proof on steroids. Every person who mentions "I've been on the waiting list for 2 years" becomes a walking advertisement. They're literally bragging about not being able to buy something. Name another product where customers advertise their inability to purchase it. The IKEA effect. Psychologists found that people value things more when they invest effort into obtaining them. That 18-month wait? It's not a bug, it's a feature. By the time you get that Submariner, you've emotionally invested so much that the watch feels more valuable than if you'd bought it immediately. Let's be honest, if you could walk into any store tomorrow and buy a Submariner, would it feel as special? Probably not. Here's a real statistic. Rolex watches retain 85 to 95% of their retail value, with some models appreciating. Meanwhile, most luxury goods lose 20 to 40% the moment you walk out the door. That waiting list artificially props up resale values because it maintains the illusion of rarity. Quick thing, if you're finding this valuable, smash that like button and subscribe. It actually helps more people discover the truth about luxury marketing tactics like this. Plus, hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Number 3, the dark side. Who really gets the watches? Now here's where it gets controversial. The waiting list isn't democratic. It's a wealth screening system disguised as fairness. Authorized dealers operate on what insiders call the spend to get model. Want a steel Daytona? First, buy $50,000 worth of jewelry, gem set watches, and other pieces nobody wants. Want a Submariner? Establish a purchase history with less desirable models first. Walk in as a regular person with cash? Back of the line, buddy. One Reddit user documented spending $73,000 on various Rolex models over 18 months before finally getting allocated a Daytona. That's not a waiting list, that's a paywall with extra steps. Meanwhile, celebrities, influencers, and high net worth individuals, they get watches immediately. Why? Because their ownership creates marketing value worth more than the watch's retail price. A former sales associate revealed, "We had a special draw. Those watches were allocated to VIPs before they even arrived. The waiting list was for everyone else, and it was mostly theatre." The brutal truth? The waiting list exists to make you feel special while ensuring they control who gets access. It's exclusivity theatre, and you're both the audience and the rejected applicant. But here's the plot twist nobody sees coming. Number 4. Why this lie is actually genius. Before you grab your pitchforks, understand this. Rolex's strategy isn't evil, it's evolutionary. In the 1980s, Rolex watches were just available. Nice watches, sure, but you could buy one whenever. Their brand value? Moderate. Their cultural cachet? Limited. Then, they implemented the allocation system and transformed into a cultural phenomenon. Now Rolex represents achievement and success, patience and dedication, insider status and connections, investment-grade luxury. They didn't just sell more watches, they sold a better story. And in luxury, the story is the product. Compare this to brands with no waiting lists. Omega makes exceptional watches, often superior technically, but there's no mystique, no journey, no battle to acquire one. Result? Lower brand perception and worse value retention. Rolex created artificial scarcity to build real value. That's not a lie, that's marketing mastery. So, let's recap what we've uncovered. The Rolex waiting list isn't a queue, it's a relationship filter and psychological manipulation tool designed to increase perceived value. There's no central list. Dealers control allocation based on spending, and the scarcity is manufactured to hack your brain's desire for exclusive things. Here's my question for you. Would you still want a Rolex knowing the waiting list is manufactured? Or does the strategy make you respect the brand more? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. If you found this eye-opening, smash that like button and subscribe, because I'm pulling back the curtain on luxury marketing every week. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Speaking of manufactured scarcity, you won't believe what I discovered about Hermes. Their waiting list isn't just about patience, it's actually a wealth screening test that makes Rolex look amateur. The tactics they use are borderline psychological warfare, and I'm exposing every detail in my next video. Until then, keep questioning what you're told, especially when someone says you can't have something. That's usually when they want you to want it most. Real wealth whispers, fake wealth shouts. Luxury works best when you never question it. Now you see the illusion. This is the luxury illusion.